So high at the beginning of the day, high at the end of the day. Some pretty notable price swings in there on a 1 day chart kind of scale. And I think what's important to extrapolate from this day is the science card. Which my sense is probably around there. Oops. Yeah, I think probably right around here. And I'm going to use this. Oh, I can't reuse it. I have to make a new one. Just remember. Okay, so a little bit above where I think it is. The science card is probably like this level here. Midday, right? This is an important level because we go and we look back. Excuse me. So if we go and we look back, that was the last high. Interesting. Still learning stuff about cards. Every day I seem to learn something. So we're in this high at the end of the day. My sense is that tomorrow is going to be notably lower. It's nullified somehow, so it's a little interesting. Oops, that's not what I want. I want this. It's nullified, meaning that there's no relationship between the sneak preview card on the timeline of the following day. There's no actual relationship to a decline through multiple support levels. We have an important price level that's highlighted here. We rotate around the high near it. The high is nullified as well. Alright, so the gain card, we established support and there's a big move to the upside. It looks like probably there was a decline in the pre-market. Established support, big move from the bottom of the range to the top of the range, and then we sell from that crest down to and through support. Crisscross back and forth around that, and then we probably break out here. I'm advised not to chase the high. And I hope I'm right about a big low there. My sense is probably why it's nullified is because it happens overnight. Like we probably gap down, and then there's a movement from the bottom of the range all the way to the top of the range. So we probably retrace the whole thing here, or a big portion of it. And then there's this price level that we're kind of utilizing as support for a bit. The price level at the end of the day tomorrow is going to be very significant. Hey, Carolyn. I didn't see that high. That's for sure. That's not what I saw. Matter of, I mean, there's a fortune card at the high. I probably said like a new local high or something. Or the fortune card can all in many cases be like the top of something. That's what's hard to determine, Carolyn. I think it's probably to the downside. It's because the nullifications, it became pretty hard to determine direction. This is kind of like a flat type of card. The truce card's kind of like a flat type of card. If it was just that energy alone that we were looking at, it would be kind of flat. I'm kind of annoyed there wasn't a better opportunity. But I mean that weekend really threw this strategy out of whack. Next time I'm gonna have like a spreadsheet. I'm gonna have it planned ahead of time, looking at the weekends. Um, I think probably it's just an important price level that's like what we do around it is going to indicate direction. And my sense is whatever the highs we close at today, we're going to be lower than that high when we open in the pre-market at least. And there's a big move off of the low. See, this is all bullish here, right? This is all, I mean, this isn't bullish, but it's not definitively bearish either. This is all pretty bullish, confirmation of a bullish trend, big, fast move higher, rally that increases with momentum moving forward into the day. And then we have these bearish cards come into play at the end of the day. And then we have the resistance level. And it's tricky because we have these three correlate to each other. These three cards all correlate to each other at the end of the day. We likely see like three pokes through the price level and then a drop off of the third poke. Yeah, it's gonna it's gonna look like we're gonna break out through a price level, but we're not. Instead, we turn around, we decline there. But that's like probably the very end of the day. Man, we are really moving it. So annoying. Yeah, Vanessa, I feel you on that. I'm kind of annoyed. I don't think Vanessa. I don't think it's going to be so much a downtrend. I think we're going to open lower in the at least in the pre-market and decline in the pre-market. But the thing is that the sneak preview card is nullified. There's no like real relationship to any of the timeline cards on this ruin card, which speaks of like the ruin card indicates what direction. This indicates what direction we should open, right? So to the downside, but there's a big move. There's a lot of bullish move right around the open. There's a lot of bullish behavior like late morning, and then we get some bearish behavior. But like this, at the end of the day, is really it's not an easy like it's not easy to decipher the peace card in this position right here, because like I've seen cases where we decline and decline and decline and we break through a price level and then it becomes resistance, right? And it's at a lower level with like a low correlation here, right? But I've also seen cases where the peace card ended up like there was a big bullish move to meet the resistance level. And my sense is it's really hard to determine because these other two cards, they're not on the timeline. If they were on the timeline, it would help me determine. Hard to explain, but it's a really difficult one to determine, guys. That's why I've been kind of like, next couple days are tricky because they really are. We could have a full retracement over the weekend too. It's possible. There's a revisiting of a support level, and this is the retracement card in a lot of cases. I mentioned potentially opening along in the AM and closing it later in the day. I mean, the only thing is there's nothing advising me. There's nothing advising me to open up a long position, and I won't place a trade unless there's like a trade indicator, because there's always something. There's always some reason why it's not a trade, you know. So in theory that could work, Carolyn, but personally I wouldn't deviate. I will never deviate from that, or I try my best never to deviate from it. Sometimes I get tempted, and it usually doesn't work out in my favor. I'm like, oh well, duh. That's why they didn't want me to do it then, you know. But the end of the day, okay. So here it is. If we end up at a high at the end of the day tomorrow, I'd say we're gonna retrace that in the morning, like over the weekend, and open lower. If we end at a low, then I'd say the 30th is more going to be like a pop and then a drop. It's also the Princess of Discs. I mean, I'm out on the 30th for sure. If I'm wrong about tomorrow, the 30th is the last day that I'll stay in, and it's probably a dumb idea, to be honest. Like, you know, they call it short for a reason. If you guys don't understand that, it's called short and long. Long position is when you're looking for the price to go up. That's in your favor when the price goes up. Short position obviously is when the price is when it's in your favor for the price to go down. But the reason why they call it short is because the longer you hold a short position, the more likely you are to lose your money. It's called short for a reason, because the overall trend is always going to be to the upside. The overall trend is always going to be to inflate the value of things. That's just the way the chart works over time. Oh, okay. So yeah, that's gonna make a move. The GDP data at 8:30. I see a Caroline. I see a higher high in early February than the January highs. To be clear. There's a higher high in early February. I was just expecting to have a nice opportunity here. I mean, this wouldn't have changed the fact that we missed this drop because of the weekend. Wouldn't have changed anything. Like my strategy is not to trade during this retrograde period. What's frustrating is I got my money in here. Like I was waiting for my money to get in, and I should have prepared my money into the account before retrograde because it took too long. By the time I got my money in, it was already here. And I'm like, man, if I purchased my put there, I would have been a happy camper. But I wasn't able to. So the GDP data. Wrong day. Yeah, I think it's going to have a bullish impact. My sense is that the GDP data has a bullish impact, but the high is nullified. That's important. The high is nullified. What you have to understand, guys, is when something is nullified, when there isn't a relationship between it, between like a significator card and the timeline cards, right? That's not. It's not that that's not telling you something. It's specifically telling you something because there's no relationship. Like everything has a meaning. And if the high is nullified, then chances are that we do open up. We do end up at a low here towards the end of the day. Because we'd have this move to the upside early in the day, and then chart behavior would somehow like make it that move irrelevant in some regard. And that's why this is nullified, because we probably have a gap down. That's my sense. We probably have a gap down in the pre-market, and then we decline until that until that news comes out, and then we have a big move from the bottom of the range to the top of the range. We sell off off of a crest in the first half hour, down to through a support level, and then we probably dance around that support level until late morning, where we have a fast sudden move higher, like a rally increasing with momentum. But I'm advised not to chase this rally. So there's a big drop here. There's a low correlator here. It's just this card can mean so many different things. It's like, oh man. It can mean so. I've seen so many variations happen with this card in this kind of scenario. It's just like, yeah. To be succinct, Carolyn, I probably would avoid a bullish trade tomorrow because it's. I mean, it could make money. You never know, but like, it's not something that I have enough certainty on for me to want to trade on it, because there's always more certain. There's always going to be another opportunity where there's more certainty, and you got to be prepared for that opportunity. If you use it, if you use your funds, for an okay opportunity to like a maybe opportunity, you might not have those funds to use for the real opportunity. You're welcome. But I like what I see here. I like what I see here. There's a definitive breakout at the end of the day on the 30th off of a key support level. Why won't this get bigger? There we go. Right, so there's two trade opportunities. There's a trade opportunity here, right? We'll be rotating sideways along a key support level. Oh. And there's that success card. There's that success card, right? I should have noticed that. So that's on the 30th, I believe. Yeah, success card right there. I marked it on there. In any case, so that success energy is on the 30th. Really, we got 10 of Wands energy. There's the upper. This has got to be like the upper end of a range that I'm not seeing. I guess technically it is. It's the upper end of a range, right? We've got this pretty significant line here. Which becomes even more significant out here. Man, in the grand scheme of things, it was quite a mild retrograde. Quite a mild retrograde for the market. Central Bank Iraq announced they will soon have a new currency with new rate against the USD. They did not reveal a date. Do you see any bullish movement in dinar? So is your question is your question, are we going to see a bullish move based on the news of the new currency or on the release of the new currency, or are you just interested in seeing if there's a bullish move? It's probably not the best day for me to do that, Carolyn, because it's an Aries moon and I'm a Cancer. I did the Tesla reading. I don't know if you guys saw the December Tesla reading. I believe it was the December Tesla reading. Sucked. Just sucked. It was one of my worst readings in a long time. Sorry, guys. I did that during an Aries moon, so I didn't really have a choice like that, based on when it needs to be done. So I kind of steer clear of doing predictive kind of prognosis during the Aries moon. You know what I mean? It's pretty important for a Cancer. I'm not quite at the vibration that I'd like to be, so things like this matter, but I am on a 90-day super, I'm on day 9 of a 90-day, well, I made it a 150-day challenge, but it's to boost my energy, to boost my vibration back to where I want it to be. And then things like the moon's influence of whatever sign it's in, that won't impact me at all. My vibration will be above that. It's not easy to do, guys. I don't know if you've heard of raising your Kundalini. For a guy, it's not the easiest thing, but I've done it before. It's also yoga. It's also meditation, specific times of day, every single day. I just became a vegetarian. I had a slip up that lasted way too long. But these are all things that impact my energy, and all together, I'm going to skyrocket through. I'm already sensing it now. I'm already sensing it because I'm on day 9. And then there's sexual transmutation, which I'm not going to get into. But You know, for a guy to maintain that, they become very powerful. It, so I spent my whole life learning how to do it. For me, it's a matter of like I needed to learn how to raise my vibration in order to do the work that I need to do, because where I am sitting right now predicting the market like at this vibration, this is not my normal vibration. This is a vibration that has brought me down a bit because I interact with the public, and the public, as great of a vibration as people in the public can have, the overall general public is a lower vibration than where I've found myself residing after years and years of learning how to discipline myself and what things to do and not do. But really, the point is that that most people are going in one direction. They never really figure out how to change, or even that they're going in one direction. And I'm kind of like going up and down like it's an elevator, kind of helping somebody out over here, going back over here and getting my energy back, coming over here, helping somebody over here, going back and getting my energy again, up and down. So it was a necessary skill that I needed to learn how to do in order to accomplish the things that I'm doing. Without a high vibration, I never would have gotten to a place, a higher vibration than where I am now. I would have never gotten to a place where I could have the subconscious belief system of a 98% average accuracy and then manifest that. You know, that's from a specific vibration that very few people achieve. Most guys aren't willing to do what's necessary to raise the kundalini. It's basically abstinence of any kind, not even by yourself. You know, it's sexual transmutation. The energy is then utilized for other forms of manifestation. All of the biblical stories like Samson and Delilah, Moses and his staff that turned into a snake. You know, I mean, these are all symbolic of raising the kundalini energy. Yeah, I'm a vegetarian. More than a vegetarian, I'm going towards raw, totally raw, which I was a long time ago. Because when you eat raw, you're still consuming prana. Most of the stuff that people in society eat is like it's dead. It doesn't have prana energy in it. It's just filling your stomach with nothing, like substance. It's just filling it with physical substance, but you're not getting the spiritual nourishment that you need, the spiritual energy through the food. It can become a spiritual act to eat. You know, if you maintain your awareness and you focus your consciousness on what you're doing and take your time and be reverent about it. You know, I learned that as a South Korean monk. I was a South Korean urban monk for a while. I did a lot of things, my friends, to get where I am. A lot of different experiences. Anyhow, I'm going to roll. I'm going to get a bunch of stuff, a bunch of new readings. There's a ton of stuff coming out over the next few days into the end of February. So look out for new stuff every single day. And I've got more to follow. I'm going to do a bunch of 10 years. Those will be coming out over the next several days. Thank you so much for watching, my friends. And also, we should have the merchant account thing fixed on the website relatively soon. My sense is, if everything goes well, we should have it done probably by the beginning of February, maybe even sooner. But that's kind of stressed me out because like there's no income coming in for the business right now other than 5%. Yeah, I can't do vegan. I like cheese too much. And I don't really feel that there's anything wrong with cheese depending on the way the animal is raised and stuff, energetically speaking. It's like cheese is like the fruit of animals. Fruit doesn't kill the tree, you know? Cheese doesn't kill the animal. So as long as the animal's been treated right, the cheese is fine in my book. That's just me personally. Eggs too, unfertilized eggs. Anyhow, I'm gonna roll. Thanks for watching, my friends. I'll see you tomorrow. Test me for cheese. What do you mean? Oh, I'm sure I don't. Yeah, yeah. I'm sure I don't test well for cheese. It's my guilty pleasure. I mean, we all have to have a vice. I'm not a fan of goat cheese, though. I really don't like it. I've tried it several times. It's not my. It kind of like makes me cringe. And with eggs, I find that there's a very specific type of eggs I need. Pasture raised, organic eggs. Otherwise, I can't eat them. I can taste the karma. That's what I am. I'm a karmic eater. I eat for prana. I eat for good karma. All of those things impact vibration. People that you interact with, the things that you ingest, what you spend your time focused on. Okay, that's good to know. Burrata cheese. I don't know what it is about people who drive in New York City, like they don't understand so people think that all the people driving around in Manhattan, they're from New York and they don't know how to drive. New Yorkers know how to drive. They probably know how to drive better than anybody else. I've driven through every single state in the US except for Alaska and Colorado. Right? But here, it's like when you hear a siren, get out of the way. They just sit there and wait for the light, like it's normal. I don't understand. Like this ambulance could have gone by like 4 times if they just moved. What's a sugar burner? Sugar is also something that I've given up. I've given, just recently, as of 9 days ago, I've given up meat, I've given up sugar, I've given up alcohol, and I've given up women. All things that impact vibration. So 90 days from now, I'll be in a different reality entirely. That's interesting because I've eaten a lot of sugar in my life. Anyhow, thank you. I'm gonna roll, my friends. I'll see you all tomorrow.